Your gut has been under attack for years, not from one dramatic event, from thousands of small decisions made over decades. The processed food, the seed oils, the sugar, the antibiotics, the stress, the poor sleep, each one individually tolerable, collectively devastating. And the damage that has accumulated in your gut lining over those years is not just causing bloating and digestive discomfort. It is driving the chronic inflammation that is behind your belly fat. It is suppressing the serotonin that regulates your mood. It is impairing the immune function that protects you from illness. It is disrupting the hormones that control your hunger, your sleep, and your metabolism. Your gut is not a digestive organ. It is the foundation of your entire biological health, and it has been quietly failing for years. But here is what most people never hear. The gut is one of the most regenerative systems in the human body, and the research from 2025 is showing that meaningful restoration of gut function can happen faster than most people ever imagined possible. But first, I need to tell you what gut damage actually looks like at the structural level, because most people have no idea what is happening inside their intestinal wall. Your gut lining is a single cell layer thick, one cell, between you and the contents of your intestine, bacteria, food particles, toxins, waste. There is literally one cell standing between those substances and your bloodstream. That single cell layer is held together by proteins called tight junctions, molecular seals that control what passes through the gut wall into circulation. When tight junctions are intact, your gut selectively absorbs nutrients and blocks everything else. When tight junctions are damaged by chronic inflammation, by seed oils, by alcohol, by certain medications, by stress-elevated cortisol, they loosen. Gaps open between the cells, and substances that should stay in your gut begin leaking into your bloodstream. Bacterial fragments, undigested food proteins, inflammatory compounds, your immune system, which monitors your bloodstream, detects these foreign substances and mounts a response. And that response is chronic low-grade inflammation. The same inflammation we have covered on this channel as the primary driver of visceral fat accumulation, insulin resistance, poor sleep, and accelerated aging. Leaky gut is not a fringe concept. It is a well-documented mechanism of systemic disease, and it is more common than most doctors acknowledge. Here is what is driving gut damage right now, and this is where it gets genuinely alarming. The first driver is ultra-processed food. Ultra-processed food damages your gut through three simultaneous mechanisms. First, the seed oils it contains drive oxidative stress in the cells of your gut lining, directly damaging tight junction proteins. Second, the refined carbohydrates and sugars feed the pathogenic bacteria in your gut microbiome while starving the beneficial bacteria that produce the short-chain fatty acids your gut lining needs to repair itself. Third, the artificial emulsifiers in ultra-processed food, carrageenan, polysorbate 80, carboxymethylcellulose, have been shown in research to directly disrupt the mucus layer that protects your gut lining from contact with bacteria. A 2025 study published in Cell Host and Microbe confirmed that a diet high in ultra-processed food produced measurable disruption of the gut microbiome and increased intestinal permeability within just 2 weeks. 2 weeks. The damage accumulates fast. The second driver is chronic stress and elevated cortisol. Cortisol directly reduces the production of tight junction proteins, which means every period of chronic stress in your life was simultaneously loosening your gut lining. This is the mechanism behind the well-documented connection between psychological stress and gastrointestinal disease. It is not psychosomatic. It is cortisol biochemistry acting on gut cell protein production. And the same interventions that lower cortisol, sleep, fasting, walking, stress management, are directly protective for gut barrier integrity. And now, the twist that changes how you think about gut repair completely. Here's what the research from 2025 reveals about gut restoration that most people never hear. Your gut lining replaces itself every 3 to 5 days. The cells of your intestinal wall, called enterocytes, have one of the fastest turnover rates of any cell in your body, which means the gut you have today is not the gut you will have in a week. Every 3 to 5 days, you have the opportunity for a new layer of gut lining, one that is either healthier or more damaged than the previous one, depending entirely on the inputs your gut is receiving. This is why gut healing can happen faster than most people expect. You are not waiting for cells to repair themselves. You are waiting for new cells to be built correctly. And the raw materials and conditions for correct gut cell construction are specific and modifiable. So what actually repairs gut damage? The first intervention is removing the inputs that damage it. No ultra-processed food, no seed oils, no refined sugar, no alcohol. These are not dietary preferences. They are the primary substrates of gut damage. Removing them allows new enterocytes to form in a low inflammation environment with intact tight junction protein production. Within 1 to 2 weeks, of removing these inputs, measurable improvements in gut permeability have been documented. The gut is not healing dramatically in that window, but the damage is stopping, and new healthy cells are beginning to form. The second intervention is feeding the beneficial bacteria that produce butyrate. Butyrate is a short-chain fatty acid produced by gut bacteria when they ferment dietary fiber, and butyrate is the primary fuel source for your enterocytes, the cells of your gut lining. Without adequate butyrate, your gut cells are literally starving. They cannot maintain tight junction integrity. They cannot produce the mucus layer that protects the gut wall, and they die faster than they are replaced. Foods that feed butyrate-producing bacteria include garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, oats, and green bananas. These are not superfoods. They are the specific substrates that your gut bacteria need to produce the fuel your gut lining runs on. The third intervention is fasting. During your fasting window, your gut gets something it almost never gets in modern life: a rest. When food is not passing through your intestine, the gut lining can run repair protocols without the mechanical and chemical stress of active digestion. Research published in 2025 confirmed that intermittent fasting measurably reduced intestinal permeability and improved tight junction protein expression in adults with elevated inflammatory markers. The fasting window you're already doing for fat burning is simultaneously repairing your gut lining. The two goals are not separate. They are the same intervention producing multiple benefits simultaneously. And now the final twist, the one that reframes everything. Your gut is not damaged because you were careless. It is damaged because the modern food environment is specifically hostile to gut integrity, and nobody told you what it was doing. Ultra-processed food, seed oils, chronic stress, poor sleep, these are not unusual lifestyle choices. They are the default conditions of modern life, and your gut has been absorbing the consequences for years without ever sending you a clear signal. The bloating, the fatigue, the brain fog, the mood instability, the belly fat that will not move. These are the signals. They are your gut telling you that the foundation of your biological health needs attention. And the interventions that address it are the same interventions we have covered across every video on this channel, because gut health is not a separate topic. It is the substrate that determines whether every other intervention works. Drop a comment and tell me, do you have gut symptoms that you have never connected to your metabolic health? I want to know. And if this video finally connected something that has been bothering you for years, subscribe.